Hey everyone, my name is Brighton and I am here with Pastor Rob. We are rocking our Power Red armbands.
That's it.
Power Red. We just gave blood for the blood drive in honor of Isabel.
That's right.
So we just did that earlier today. So thanks for, in your recovery from that, to be with me. You gave this past Sunday's message, Get Out of Your Boat, from Matthew 14, where Peter gets out of the boat and walks on water to go see Jesus.
Yeah.
And so is there anything in that as you reflect that you kind of want to add on to that? I
love the picture of, we spend so much time focusing on Peter sinking that we don't remember the courage that he had to have in order to step out of his boat. And so one of the things that I was saying is in challenging the church is we need to step out of our comfort zone, because the boat was where Peter was at home. His entire life he had spent on the water, fishing, taking care of the boat. So he knew it, but he stepped out of his boat, right? And it's an amazing picture of courage, because it blows my mind the amount of faith that he must have had in that moment. To even, the boat is rocking, the storm is going, and he steps out of the boat to walk on water to Jesus. And so I like the idea of just challenging us with the idea of take courage, get out of your boat while focusing on Jesus.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and it's pretty crazy to think about that Peter asked Jesus, if that's really you, tell me to come out to you. So it was almost like that faith was within Peter in that moment to even ask Jesus of that.
Right.
And then when Jesus said, yes, it is me, come out and step on the water, then the additional courage to do that as well.
Right.
So
I love that. I love the picture because the boat's rocking, and it's, when I initially read it, it was always a challenge. Like, oh, if that's really you, then tell me to come. But that's not it. When you read it, it's Peter saying, God, since that's you, save me from my current circumstances.
Yes.
And I wonder if there aren't some circumstances that we're going through that we need to just kind of seek God and say, since you're you, help me step out of this.
Yes. So. Yeah. And speaking of that, that was one of the things that stuck out to me, is that you said Peter did not sink because of his lack of faith.
Right.
Peter had faith.
Right.
Like, all of the actions clearly displayed his faith. But he began to sink because the object of his faith shifted away from Jesus to his circumstances around him. And that just really struck me. Is there anything more that you could say to that, or like an encouragement to us that how do we?
Yeah, I think the encouragement is, if you're going through something and you feel like by this time in my life I should have had victory over this habitual sin, or God should have shown up somehow in my marriage, or he should have shown up somehow in my physical health, whatever it is, that it's not an indictment that you don't have the faith for it. Right? That's not it. It's God is up to something different if he's not answering your prayers the way that he wants to. And so all that to say is Peter didn't sink because he lacked faith. In fact, he had massive faith to just step out of the boat. He began to sink because all of a sudden his faith in Christ, in what he was doing and calling him to do, started to get discouraged because the waves are coming. The lightning striking.
Started looking around.
He sees it. And so for us, the idea is, as followers of Christ, to know that we're going to go in storms, like we're going to go through difficult circumstances. But if we maybe instead of saying, God, help me through this kind of thing, maybe it's, God, since it's you, like Peter said, since it's you, help me to learn from this what you want me to learn. Help me to grow and shape me the way that you want me to grow and shape going through this tribulation. And if we switch that mindset, not to something that I have to get through, but something that God's going to use this to grow me, to make me more like Christ, then I think that gives us the perseverance and the motivation really to suffer through all things. Just like Paul said in Philippians, I can do all things. I can suffer through all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so that's the exciting thing. It seems weird, but I do get excited when difficult circumstances arise, because God has shown up every single time. And looking back, not that I want to experience him, but looking back, you just see his hand guiding you through the storms. And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Pastor Rob. Thanks for being here with us. Hope you have a great rest of your week. And Bishop Todd Fetters will be kicking off a new series for us this Sunday. So, see you then.
I'm going.